Hello and welcome back to RBY Pokemon Challenges. My name is Teo and it's time for another randomized run at Rival 5. Now, you know how this goes. Every single time, you drop your comments down below, tell me whether to take the right, center, or left Pokeball. We have our memes right on Pokemon Center and leftovers, but recently you guys have been talking a lot about which side you sleep on. Anyway, on the last video, Magneton, we got votes from Boss KO and from Andrew Palmer, both asking for left. So today, we're going to go with the left Pokeball. Let's see what we get. First, in the left Pokeball, we are going to get Onix. Okay. Defensive rock-type Pokemon. We're going to see how this one goes. If we had taken center, we would have gotten Poliwhirl. And on the right, we would have gotten Ivysaur. Well, today, we're going to take left like you guys voted and go with our Onix. So, let's get set up over here, and we'll be right back. So, Onix. We've seen in the brand new Brock Minimum Battles series that Onix is a defensive powerhouse early in the game. It has speed and it has defense, but all of its other stats are really, really bad. And we've seen any special attack basically takes it out because its base special is only 30 in Generation 1. So, moving on to its moveset. We're going to see a little bit more interesting stuff here because we already know most of its strongest moves. It's basically only going to learn Earthquake late in the game. So moving on to our TMs and HMs, we also have very little to look forward to here. We get Rock Slide. Earthquake is basically just the same as Dig. It's just a one-turn move instead of a two-turn move. We can't get Explosion or Self-Destruct because those are automatic losses here. So Double Team could come into play. Mimic's definitely going to be on our in-game moveset. And Toxic, maybe? But we are taking Onix. Let's see if we can get through Rival number 5. Alright, so here we are, we have our Onix, and we already went to Bill's house and the SSN because we needed to get Dig in order to beat Misty. So it's straight on to Lieutenant Surge. And here, Lieutenant Surge is no challenge for Onix. One Dig, and Raichu's out of there. And that's probably going to be the easiest fight that we have. At this point, we're fairly strong relative to other trainers' Pokemon, so even going into Rock Tunnel, we're going to do just fine, just using Dig here. Once we get to the Slowpokes in Rock Tunnel, however, we're going to change up our strategy. We're really going to lean on Bind. That's because we can't one-shot Slowpoke with Dig, and its confusion can actually take us out. So, moving on to the Hiker, he's no challenge. Self-destruct really wouldn't affect us that much anyway, and we have Dig, so we get through all of his Pokemon very, very easily. So the next challenge really is just Rival 4. Here in Lavender Town against Rival 4, we're going to use Rock Throw against Fearow. It's a 2-hit KO. We're going to then change to Dig, which easily takes out Magnemite. Shellder doesn't really use any water attacking moves, so at this point we can get through it very, very consistently. And yeah, now it's just on to our Sandshrew. We don't have anything great against it, but Bind and Dig is enough. And Eevee has nothing that we have to worry about, so we take it out in 2 Digs. So up to this point, this is looking like a very, very easy run. Like, we haven't really struggled against any trainers, and we're about to get Rock Slide here, and that's going to dramatically improve our moveset. But that could be a little misleading, because here we're going to take our first shot at Erika, and this might be a real challenge here. But let's try it. Let's just see. So here against the Execute doesn't know any grass-type moves, so even with it putting us to sleep, it just uses Barrage. That does no damage whatsoever. And yeah, we can just bind it down. But now we have to fight Erika, and the best strategy I can think of is to use Bind on her Pokemon, and hopefully we can take them out. As we can see, if Tangela is able to use Mega Drain on us, it's a one-hit KO. And because Bind is not perfectly accurate, we miss enough times that she's basically always going to take us out. So let's move on to Team Rocket instead, where we're back to having a type advantage. None of Team Rocket's Pokemon can do a lot of damage to us, and Dig is super strong. And moving on to Giovanni, it's going to be more of the same. He just has his own Onix, but we have Dig. Rhyhorn is another one-hit KO, and Persian takes 2 hits, but we are able to get through. So maybe we just need more levels? Let's find out. So here, we're going to make our way through Lavender Tower, and Gastly's again with Dig are no problem, but we have to deal with Marowak now. Marowak has super effective moves against us, and it's not going to be a one-hit KO here with our Dig. So we can lead off instead with Bind to try to do damage to it and get it down into a range where we can actually take it out. Our speed is really what's saving us at this point. Another fight against Team Rocket, and they're going to be more of the same. We're just going to Dig to take them out, and it's really not a challenge at all. The Team Rocket timeline really isn't a problem in this run, but that still leaves us with the problem of Erika, and can we get through Rival 5? So we're going to pick up the card key, make our way to Rival 5's room. Instead of going back to Erika at this point, let's just see if we can beat him. We might save Erika for much later. So here, we are going to try against Rival 5. So we're going to lead off with Screech. And the reason for that is to make it so that we can hopefully one-shot the Sandshrew, which we do. Now, against Cloyster. Rock-type moves should be super effective, so a move like Rock Slide might be able to get us through. But no, Cloyster has way too much defense to be able to get through. So let's try this again, where we're going to try to use Bind in order to get through this fight. So starting off by binding Sandslash, we're getting through it pretty well without taking a whole lot of damage. But really, Cloyster is the challenge we have to see if we can beat. So here, against Cloyster, I'm going to lead off with Bind, and it uses Withdraw when we miss, and that could help us. The fact that it can use Withdraw, it can use Clamp, or it can use Aurora Beam. We really want to see Withdraw when we miss. So we're going to try to take it out, and we missed and got taken out. So clearly that fight's not happening at this point as well. So what can we do? Well, let's go down and fight Koga. Koga has bug-type Pokemon in this generation. Yes, they use Psychic-type moves, but maybe we can get through? What we're going to do is we're going to start off with Bind to get them down into a range where Rock Slide can one-hit them after that. We outspeed all of the Venonats. So it's really just a matter of not missing with Bind and getting off our Rock Slides, which are not perfectly accurate. Now, Venomoth is where it gets really challenging. Fortunately, even though we're on low HP, he used an X attack and we were able to get through. So now we're starting to see that maybe we have a shot here. But before we go back to Rival 5 and Erika, let's try to go and fight Blaine. Because he has Fire-type Pokemon, we're Rock-type, we've got Dig, we're going to have an advantage. So we're going to evolve our Eevee into a Vaporeon and teach it Surf so that we can go down to Cinnabar Island and fight Blaine right away. So we make our way down to his gym. It's really no problem getting through the Pokemon Mansion with a Pokemon like Onix. So we're just going to pick up all the important items and get to Blaine's gym. Against Blaine, we need to get Screech off, then dig in order to take out Ninetales. It's the same thing again against Rapidash. Screech does not even allow us to one-hit the Rapidash. Now against Arcanine, we're using Screech and Dig, and fortunately, his bad AI uses Reflect, allowing us to get through. So now, can we get through Erika at this point? Let's see. We're using Bind to get through Tangela, and then it's Bind on Weeping Bell until it gets low enough that we can Rock Slide it down. And it's going to be the same on Gloom, Bind into Rock Slide. Just a few levels higher, this is now a consistent battle. And let's see about Rival 5. Now, I did this fight many times, but this was the one that was the best run I could get. We started off with Bind against Sandslash in order to get its health down. Then we went into Dig in order to take it out. Against Cloyster, we lead off with Bind. We're trying to get it down to about 1/3 health so that we can take it out with Rock Slide from there. There we go. Now against Magneton, it's an easy Dig. Against Kadabra, we outspeed and hit it with Dig, and Flareon is one Dig. So we had to go all the way to Blaine and get as many levels as possible in order to make this a doable run, but it was ultimately possible with our Onix. There are going to be some really big challenges going forward, however. Sabrina uses Psychic-type moves, Special-type, they're going to take us out. Giovanni, he's going to use Ground-type moves that are probably going to take us out. So how did we do? Well, we got through, but this is a Pokemon that I don't think is going to be able to beat the entire game. Like I said, Sabrina, Giovanni, Lorelei's coming up. Bruno could actually be trouble for it. Lance in this generation with Blizzard could be trouble for it. Vote down in the comments. Let me know, do you think that this Pokemon, Onix, is going to be able to beat the entire game? I think that it's going to be a really big challenge. Anyway, that does it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to all the commenters. Thank you to Boss KO, Andrew Palmer, Ken Schmidt, Snoopy the Rat, Shane Bailey. You guys always comment on these, help me out so much in selecting our next Pokemon. Next time we're going to take the comments from the Persian video in order to determine our next randomized run. So make sure that you drop those down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.